The Story of Anne of Green Gables. The author, Lucy Maud Montgo. In the picturesque village of Avonlea, nestled on Prince Edward Island, there lived an imaginative and spirited young girl named Anne Shirley. Anne was an orphan who had been adopted by Marilla and Matthew Cuthbert, two elderly siblings who had originally hoped for a boy to help them on their farm. However, Anne's arrival turned their world upside down in the most delightful way. One sunny morning, Anne stood at the window, gazing longingly at the horizon. She had always dreamed of a grand adventure, of exploring new places and meeting interesting people. Avonlea was a beautiful place, but Anne couldn't help but wonder what lay beyond its lush green hills and quaint little cottages. "Marilla," Anne said one day, bursting with excitement, "I've been thinking about something extraordinary." Marilla looked up from her darning. "And what, pray tell, is that, Anne?" "I want to go on a grand adventure to see the world beyond Avonlea," Anne declared, her eyes sparkling with determination. Marilla sighed, realizing that her beloved Anne was growing up and needed to explore the world. "Well, Anne, it's not a bad idea, but you must be practical. How do you plan to go on this adventure?" Anne, never one to be short on imagination, replied, "I've heard that the neighboring village of Carmody is having a summer festival next week. Can I go there with Diana? It's a small step, but it's a start." Marilla considered this for a moment and nodded. "Very well, Anne. You may go to the Carmody festival with Diana, but promise me you'll be responsible and safe." Anne jumped up and hugged Marilla tightly. "Oh, thank you, Marilla. I promise to be the most responsible adventurer the world has ever seen." The day of the Carmody festival arrived, and Anne and Diana were dressed in their finest dresses. They set off on their grand adventure, taking the path that led through the fragrant meadows and under the whispering trees. The festival was a wonderland of sights and sounds. There were colorful stalls selling sweet treats, games to play, and music filling the air. Anne and Diana reveled in the festivities, and for the first time, Anne felt the thrill of exploring the unknown. As the sun began to set, Anne and Diana made their way back home, tired but happy. Anne had taken her first step into the world beyond Avonlea, and she knew that there were many more adventures waiting for her. Over the years, Anne's adventures would take her far and wide, from Green Gables to distant places, but she would always hold dear the memory of that very first adventure in Carmody. And so, Anne Shirley's life was filled with countless grand adventures, all inspired by her insatiable curiosity and her indomitable spirit, making her one of the most beloved and unforgettable characters in literature. The moral of this story is that even the grandest of adventures can begin with a small step. Anne's desire to explore the world beyond Avonlea led her to take that first, seemingly modest journey to the Carmody Festival. The lesson here is that one should never underestimate the power of curiosity and the courage to step out of one's comfort zone. Anne's willingness to embrace the unknown and her unyielding spirit allowed her to embark on countless adventures and enrich her life in ways she could have never imagined. This story reminds us that taking the first step toward our dreams can lead to a lifetime of extraordinary experiences. Thank you for watching, guys.